Do you struggle with anxiety in ranked Valorant? Of course we do. Then you've come to the right place. Welcome everybody. Hoodie MJ here, and I'm gonna talk to you today about how to handle anxiety in Valorant Ranked, or really any ranked mode, but I'm gonna focus on Valorant because that's the game I play. So, now, some nerds out there may ask, what do you know about anxiety, MJ? What do you know about Valorant Ranked, MJ? Those are valid questions, albeit stupid. But I will answer them, okay? So I play Valorant daily for 4 hours plus. I'm Diamond 3, recently achieved, which is insane, by the way. And I struggle with anxiety every single time I play the game, right? Like, I'm playing with Immortals now, and you would not believe how intensely anxious I get. My hands start to shake, my breathing goes crazy, you know, my face is sweating, my keyboard is getting grease on it, you know, it gets nasty up in here, and I'm live on stream doing it, and you could see how all that stuff, right, would add up to make for an anxiety fest, right? So, to say I'm an expert, after putting like probably 800 hours into it, I think that's putting it lightly, okay? Like, shit's hard, bro. The next question some nerds may ask is, how do you deal with this, MJ? Well, that's the crux of the issue, isn't it? Because I don't deal with it. No, I'm kidding. I do handle my anxiety. And to prove that, I've prepared 3 problems that I face and that I've watched other people face or seem to face, and 3 solutions to help you guys handle them. So, roll. So, the main issue with anxiety, and probably the most underappreciated one, is accountability. We don't want to hold ourselves accountable when we fuck up, right? We want to externalize it, we want to push it onto others, we want to blame our teammates, right? We want to, stop feeling the thing inside. And so, when you want to get rid of the thing, right, a little monster inside of you, what do? You blame your teammates, you attack maybe your friends, you get mad at people, all that kind of stuff, right? And that's avoiding the issue, which actually is yourself. You made a mistake. You went and died. It's not anybody else's fault that they weren't watching an angle or anything. It was you. You could have done it better. You could have. Why did you depend on them? You know, why did you depend on anyone else in a game where you don't know anybody? Now you might say, MJ, that's not my anxiety speaking. You know, when I get mad at a teammate for not holding an angle that he probably should have held, that's just me being mad. That's not me being anxious. But I would argue that that's false, because anger is really just probably an externalization of your anxiety, right? Like, you're having a bad game and you've died, and you're telling me you don't feel anxiety because you don't feel the pressures from your team? I mean, that's bullshit, man. So how do we handle it? Well, stop blaming your teammates. Just stop it. Like, pretend they don't even exist, because for all intents and purposes, they don't. Not to you, right? Because you need to focus on yourself. You need to hold yourself accountable, okay, for the mistakes that you made. But at the same time, don't overblame yourself, right? Like, people with anxiety, it's easy for us to internalize a lot and make things personal, but remember, this is a video game. Like, mistakes are going to be made. It's part of the process of getting better at something, and we have to make them. Like, otherwise we don't get better. Just recognize when mistakes happen, but don't berate yourself for them. Don't get angry at yourself. Always give yourself some grace. Issue number 2 that I run into a lot is hesitance, right? Like, I'm talking full on, let's sit in this freaking choke point for a minute and a half while the enemy team pinches us from either side, and we do nothing at all ever, because we don't want to die. We don't know what to do. We don't know where to engage, or we don't know how to engage or how to do it. And that, all that does is lower your confidence, right? So that later on, when you do need to take a fight or clutch the round, your subconscious is like throwing you off. They're like, nah, dude, I don't want that. I don't want to take this battle. I'm scared. I can't do it. You know, you got all these thoughts running in your head. You're gonna lose. It's like cyclical. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, and it's guaranteed to happen, because it happens to me every freaking day. Every freaking time I sit there and listen and to my brain and all its stupid thoughts, right? It happens every single time, and I'm telling you. So how do you avoid this cycle, right? Because it's a terrible cycle. Well, Number one, you want to set yourself up for success and you want to do it quickly and early. So like peak the angles you know that you're good at, right? Peak the ones you're familiar with. Peak the ones you almost always win. And something that goes hand in hand with that is stop thinking so much. You take the angles that you know you can win, that you are familiar with, so that you don't have to think, right? You don't have to second guess yourself, because that is the freaking the killer, man. That's what's gonna make you lose a game, when you second guess. Essentially what this tip comes down to is making the engagements on your terms. If the opponents come to you, you could be in any spot. You know, you could be uncomfortable, and most of the times you probably are uncomfortable. But if you are choosing your places, if you are making yourself comfortable, if you are succeeding because you are comfortable, then you're telling that anxiety to right off. Speaking of making engagements, other people suck. They are mean. I would know. I've had my fair share of bullying from Counter-Strike, Overwatch, Rainbow Six, Valorant. You know, I've experienced it all. People can get really nasty over a video game. And us people with anxiety, we have learned to recognize where and when that nastiness is going to happen, right? Like, I don't even have to know these kids, and I'd be knowing that he's angry or that he's toxic. So the solution that people run to when it comes to other people is mute them.
Backside.
I have the spike.
Alright, dude. You're getting muted. 1 in 4. Shut the fuck up.
Last player.
Right? That is something that is in your control. I fully support that. First sign of toxicity or anger, I mute them all the time. It could be freaking starting string gone. First sign of toxicity or anger, it could bro, if his voice sounds wrong, even slightly wrong, I'm muting that kid in the starting screen. I don't care. But the issue is that doesn't always solve the problem, does it? Because people can do their damage before you can mute them, before you have a reason to mute them. Like, all it takes is one sentence, right? So what you need to understand is that when they do that stuff, it's not personal to you, right? They're just lashing out like you might any other time, right? But they just press their push to talk for some godforsaken reason. But chances are they're in a similar situation to you, where they've had a bad day, or they're anxious, or they're depressed, or whatever, right? Like, have some empathy for these people. Understand that they're human, right? And they're probably younger, and they're going through it too, right? This may not help you like feel better in the moment, but it might help you feel better later on. It might help you justify it because they said some mean shit to you, and now you got to get over that mean shit. So then you can say, they're just having a bad day. You know, it's not on me. It's not personal. It's because it's not. It's not personal. They don't know you. They don't know your heart. They don't know you. So what they say doesn't really matter, but they are human. To help you recover in the moment, though, I would suggest breathing, okay? Really, like, probably you're like, MJ, homie, I'd be breathing all the time. I'd be like, dude, no you ain't. You gamer breathing right now. You slouched, you know, you punched. You gotta straighten out that back. You gotta have a good posture. You gotta breathe, okay? Your whole chest has to move while you're doing this, like 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. I don't even care if your lungs start to hurt. You gotta do it, and you gotta do it for several minutes. You gotta keep doing it until the anxiety knot in your chest is gone. Like, it could take 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I don't know. We're all different. But you need to do it, right? And as you do this, you need to let yourself feel what you're feeling. Like, if you're feeling anxious, you gotta let yourself feel that. You just gotta let it happen, right? If you're feeling angry, frustrated, hurt, feel it. Feel it. Feel it. And just remember, as you're doing as well, that those people don't know you. They don't know your heart. They don't know you, right? They don't got nothing on you, right? So why listen to them? That's all I got here for today. I just want you to remember that these tips, they will take time to institute, right? You can't just give yourself confidence in a night or a day or a week or whatever, right? And stuff. You can't always take this advice and just immediately shove it into your head and just call it good, right? This will take time. Okay, give it that time because it'll work, and I promise it'll work. I've been through it. I've been there. I've been where you are. I get it. Please give yourself a chance. If you got any tips for your fellow anxious gamers, leave them in a comment down below. And while you're at it, please like and subscribe. That's all here for today. Thank you all for watching. Goodbye.